Guys, welcome to another day in the beautiful life. I hope you are well. I hope you are taking care of yourself. I hope that, I don't know, whatever you're going through today, you're able to do it from a place of peace. Yeah, well, this video is going to be a mixed bag. I'm not going to lie. I had a bunch of things going through my mind, but before I lose it, the first thing that came to mind was I don't want to be happy. I don't want to chase love. I want peace. And the reason I say these things is I think a lot of people try to chase happiness. You know, they try to chase like oh, if I get this car or this house or this family or this job or whatever, then I'll finally be happy. But it's like a trap. It never ends. You know, you're like, once you attain such things, then it's like, okay, I need something else now to be happy. Like, I need to travel. I need to go to this country. I need to see all the countries. I need to, who knows? It just never ends. It's a trap, guys. It's a mental trap. It's like, okay, one day I will be happy when I attain such things. And that's why I've like changed my inner dialogue to like, I don't want to be happy. I don't want to chase love. I want to be love. And I also want to acquire peace. If you've been watching my videos for some time, I do say quite often that I'm my what the fuck? That was like a glitch. My priority is peace. So yeah, this is like a very strong um, inner dialogue that I have with myself daily, if not, and I want to say several times a day, that peace is my priority. And yeah, if something's not bringing me peace, then it's going to peace out. Yeah, or I'm going to peace out, you know? The reason why I feel like I prioritize peace is because I think peace is what we're all really striving for. Like, I think it's the foundational keystone that everybody is striving towards, but they're being misled to chase things that make them happy. Wait, hold on. Yeah, I mean, I think like, can you really ever really be happy? Can you? Or is it like a wave? You know, is it like a pendulum that swings from one opposing end to the other? You know? So I think that's why like a lot of people are dissatisfied, I want to say. I think they're dissatisfied with circumstances and like what's going on in the life. You know, it's just like because they're like on that wave. They're on that roller coaster ride, you know, they peak and then they drop on really down low, you know. They're like once they like get to this peak, they hope they can sustain it, but I think, you know, in the natural order of things, you can never sustain like this, I don't know, this high. It's gonna go down. It's like the pendulum that swings from one opposing end to the other. That's life, you know? So for me, I want peace. And let me like elaborate on that. So if you have peace, it doesn't matter if you're here, or in between. You still are pretty neutral all the way through, you know? So, like, things could be going well. And they say this in a lot of spiritual texts, honestly. I'm pretty sure they say this in a lot of spiritual texts, like, you know, attachment is suffering. So, like, when you're at a high and you're attached to that high and you're always chasing to be at this high, you're going to come crashing down low. And if you're not mentally prepared and if your wellspring of peace isn't in place, you're gonna be up and down, up and down, up and down versus just a steady, neutral, I want to say balance point, despite what's going on around you, you know? And then I think, like we are in the dimension of deterioration, so nothing here really lasts. In fact, life is change. So nothing really stays the same. Some things might deteriorate or construct faster than others, but nonetheless, we are in the dimension of deterioration and everything is constantly changing. Energy is always moving. It's not complacent, it's not stagnant. Yeah. So that's why, like, for me, I think the underlying, like, maybe even subconscious goal for everyone on earth is to find peace. Anyways, oh my gosh, what else was I gonna say? There's a bunch of other things I wanted to say. Hmm. I'm gonna pause and ponder so you don't have to watch me pause and ponder in this video. Okay, this is not well thought through, but I did get like a hint of what I wanted to talk about next. I remember a couple of years ago, I worked with a young girl, and she was wise beyond her years, and I was very impressed by her. And I remember she told me something that really resonated and really opened up a different dimension of myself because I was like in awe. It's really hard for me to be impressed by anything. Honestly, it's weird. Like it's very weird. I feel like I spend so much time like just like observing life and understanding and taking things in that it's very rare for me to come across other people who have different angles than what you know what I mean. You know what I mean? Like they have a different angle, and I'm like, whoa, and it blows me away. But this young girl told me like something about like when you're going through life, it doesn't need to be hard. And when you're in relationships, it shouldn't be hard either. And I was like, whoa, what? I think because, I don't know, maybe you guys can relate. Um, my childhood upbringing was quite tumultuous, and I want to say there was a lot of abuse going on, a lot of neglect, a lot of abandonment stuff going on. And so, like, I guess I had normalized that. I'd be like, oh, I guess relationships are supposed to feel this way, until I like started like coming across people who operated from a healthier standpoint. Yeah, and she was like, "Yeah, Christina." Oh shit, I just said my name. Whatever, you already know it. Um Relationships shouldn't be hard, They and like a lot of things in life it shouldn't be hard, And I think for most people, that concept might be foreign because we have been socially programmed to believe that we need to work hard. We need to work hard. We need to, and I'm not saying be a lazy bum. I'm not saying that. There's like a balance point to it all, to some degree. Like you don't want to, it shouldn't be a struggle. You shouldn't have to force, but at the same time, like you still have to show up. It's like anything. Like you can't just like sit around and just be like expecting things to come to you, that I don't know. And for me, like they've also kind of socially programmed us to be heavily dependent on our mind. And if you watch my previous videos, dude, the mind will drive you crazy. Yeah. What they haven't taught you, though, is to develop a connection with God. Not to sound religious on you, but I mean, God has many names from different cultures throughout different times, And I think we use these words to describe a universal force that orchestrates all of this. It's all names. And I think man created the names in order to control people, you know? And think about it, like in a lot of religions, I mean, I can't, this is not a well through thought, but most religions, especially the mainstream ones, they like to use fear. They like to use fear. Like, oh, you have to be afraid, or else you're going to get punished and you're going to go to hell. Dude, you're creating heaven or hell right now based on your level of self awareness, mastery, and consciousness. I think a lot of like religious sects are like the educational system and everything else have been put into place to as a control agent, you know, and they're going to use fear. They're going to use fear tactics to control you. And that's why, like, for me, like, when you're at peace, it's hard to be afraid of things. When you're at peace and you're not afraid of things, it's hard to be controlled, you know? Like, and when I'm talking about like even the most basic things, you know, like, I don't know. I think I made a video yesterday and I'm like, I don't know what people are worrying about, but they certainly worry about a lot of things. And that's what creates mania. That's what creates a very unstable mind. And that just kind of like ripple effects through everything else, through your body, through your reality, and then like when you look at reality, you're like freaking out about everything. Man, like when I go out in the world and I socialize, I come across, it's not very often that I come across somebody who is balanced and at peace with themselves. I feel like a lot of people have some kind of like underlying issue that they've normalized that makes them very unstable and unbalanced. And their ability to think clearly, I don't know, it's almost like they've created their own like prison and they just stay in that prison, because they've committed themselves to particular belief systems based on what was socially, I want to say, constructed and distributed. Yeah, like people just believe everything now. I'm just like, what? Like, seriously, I'm like, what? And then I think if you watch my videos, I spend a lot of my time just observing things. I love just watching things because that's how you get to like see things as they are, you know? Yeah, not like how you want them to be. You see it as it is, you know? Um, but yeah, I've noticed like people are like living in some really interesting realities. And basically they've subscribed to it. They've what is that called? They've committed themselves to like a lot of external influences that were kind of like subconsciously force fed. Are you following me? I'm sorry if my dialogue is too technical. Um, but yeah, I like just watch them. I'm like, damn, like I'm so glad that I don't live in your mind. That's pretty destructive and chaotic and gory. Yeah, and then they like complain about everything. I'm like, yeah, well, you know, where attention goes, energy flows, and your attention is heavily invested in particular things that are like basically, I want to say, shaping the perception and the reality that they're living in. I don't know. Anyways, what am I going to say? What am I going to say? Oh, I feel like just be mindful, man. Just be aware. And I don't know where you are in the leg of your journey and what you're striving towards, but I don't know, man. Like ultimately, like if people were to ask me, like, oh, what do you want in life or what's your goal? I made a video on this too, dude. I just want inner peace. I just want inner peace. And I think once you acquire peace, it's like a cakewalk. If you can like acquire inner peace and hold that frequency, like, and not let anything or anyone or any experience or event throw you off, dude, everything is just, it's like heaven on earth. Like, seriously. Like, once you like, just really like, want to say, what's the word? You really oh man, sometimes I have the hardest time like finding words to describe like what's going on in my head. Anchor. When you really anchor and hunker down on your inner peace, which requires a lot of like work, honestly. Like it's not easy. Like that's another subject. But anyways, once you really anchor down and create a foundation of peace that is unshakable, unmovable, you can walk around in the world unscathed. I swear to God. Yeah, like people are like, they're so like attached to the idea of love. And I'm not gonna lie, I literally was so attached to the idea of being loved and loving, and that illusion was absolutely destroyed in 2023. Yes, because I was backstabbed by the people that I allowed close and who I thought had my best interests in mind. Yeah. Um, and that totally like shattered the illusion of love, because that's also like a trap. It's like you're looking for love. Like, I want to be loved. I want to be loved. I want to love someone. I don't want to be alone. Yeah. And then you realize, like, oh shit, it's not even about the love. It's about the peace. It's about the inner peace. That's why like people get like destroyed when they like, I don't know, like leave a relationship or they get left in a relationship because of all the expectations and all the brainwashing that society has implemented in our minds. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's the thing. Like when you are, I want to say, really firm in your foundation of peace, love comes naturally. You're like not even dependent on it. You just are naturally loving. But then like and you don't take things personally because you see where everyone is at, and you see like a lot of people don't love themselves. Honestly, a lot of people don't love themselves because if they truly love themselves, would they be inflicting harm upon themselves? And would that self-harm ripple out into the other things that they encounter? Yeah, like I feel like for sure, like the peace, like joy comes naturally, love comes naturally, your ability to discern comes naturally, grace comes naturally as a byproduct of being peaceful. Anyways, I think I've been talking so long about that. When it comes to, I think I've talked about this in other videos too. Like I remember like growing up, I was kind of force fed the belief system that you need to see the good in others, but they left a very essential component out regarding that idea. It's really great if you're able to see the good in others, but you also need to, and this was the missing component, see them as they are, where they're at, so that you don't make unwise choices to invest in relationships with people who still have a lot of work that they have to do. When I say work, man, I'm talking about inner work. I'm talking about inner alchemy, you know? Um, Also, I've noted, like, I also say, like, a lot of times, like, feel the fear, do it anyway, keep on keeping on. Let me elaborate on those too. So, there's a lot of things in life that make us uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable because it's foreign, it's unknown, you know? And for me, it's just like whenever I feel uncomfortable because something is unknown, I want to say, and I've said this in other videos, I do feel fear, but I don't let that stop me. I feel fear and I get curious about the fear. And I actually transmute the fear and transform it into the energetic, I want to say, component that aligns with excitement. So instead of being like, oh my God, I'm afraid, and like, flight, fight, or freeze, I'll literally like examine the fear and go, like, I wonder why I am feeling afraid right now. I'm like, you know what? It's because this is foreign to me. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to get excited because that's what it is, right? Like, it's anxiety, it's anxiousness, and you can either like transform the anxiety into fear, which will hold you in place or cause you to become defensive or flee, or you can transform that anxiety into excitement and get curious. Thank God for my inquisitive curiosity because dude, I'm like super curious. Sometimes I will like experientially um, like go towards that thing that makes me curious, but sometimes I'll just learn vicariously through others' mistakes, like watch other people and say they decide to do something, and then if it works out, I might be more apt to follow through or follow suit, but if it doesn't work out, I'm like, okay, that's a lesson learned. But then even that, like sometimes, it doesn't work out for that person, but it might work out for you. So it's just kind of like a play of like deciding like is something worth exploring or not. Um what else was I gonna say? Oh, keep on keeping on. Yeah. Say like you do pursue something and it fails terribly. Dude, I don't get stuck in that. I feel like people get stuck. I'm like, why are you getting stuck, dude? You just figured out a new way that doesn't work. Like, oh my God. I'm like, I get like hell excited. Like, shit, at least I tried. I tried. It failed. I figured out another way that doesn't work. I'm going to keep on keeping on. Yeah, like literally, this is how I operate. Yeah, I don't like let myself get stuck too long. Like sometimes I will get stuck and I will allow myself to be stuck just so that I can fully assimilate and process the experience. But after that, I like dust myself off. I I pull my big girl pants on and then I keep on keeping on. Dude, who wants to get stuck? I don't know. Anyways, this video is 23 minutes long, and I don't know if you learned anything from it, but I would like to thank you for stopping by and thank you for your time. And if you learned something cool, and if you didn't, that's cool too. Tomato, tomato. We all encounter and learn what we're supposed to in perfect timing, you know. Anyways, friendly reminder to drink water, stay hydrated. And then also, friendly reminder, don't take things personally. I swear to God, game changer, man. If you don't take things personally, peace. Yeah, you can just like watch people, like if they're rude or whatever. Yeah, you don't take that personally, you can just like see it for what it is and keep on keeping on, maintaining your frequency of peace. Anyways, I'm going to go now. I got to go do things. Anyways, I'm going to stop. Take care. Blessings to one and all. Amen.